we would like to extend a warm welcome to students, parents, teachers and guests.
We are here today to celebrate a momentous occasion for EIS, which is the commencement or graduation of our fourth graduating class, the class of 2020.
When I first met most of you in grade 10 and the remainder in grade 11, you were young and eager. Many of you were nervous about the diploma program, the DP. Some of you new to an international school and perhaps a little bit concerned about what the next few years would look like.
Look at them now, Erin, confident, scholarly and ready for the next chapter of their lifelong learning journey.
We would now like to invite the EIS Head of Middle and Secondary, Mr. Mark Rees, to address the class of 2020. Mr. Mark?
Good morning, IB graduates, distinguished guests, parents, Mr. Amini, fellow teachers and fellow students. It is both an honour and a privilege to speak at an IB graduation. Today we celebrate the successes and achievements of our graduating class. Many of you in this room have played a part in helping our graduating class get to this point. And I would like to say thank you to their parents, their guardians, their teachers, both past and present, and to their fellow students in helping them to reach this momentous day. I would also like to say thank you to the two people on the stage, Ms. Erin and Mr. David, who have guided the class of 2020 as DP coordinator and homeroom teacher through an exceptionally challenging time. The class on stage today have the distinction of being EIS's fourth graduating cohort, and I first came to know many of them 5 years ago, and I'm sure, like me, they're surprised at how fast time has flown. The tradition at times like this is often to give advice to a graduating class, and so I thought of what life lessons I had that might prove useful. My initial drafts for the speech included thoughts on future learning, the dichotomy of control, the works of Epictetus and those of Seneca, and even a quote in Latin. It all sounded grand, but a little impersonal, a little too much reason, and not enough emotion and intuition. And so that got me to thinking about my own children. And pigs. 3 little pigs to be exact. Izzy, my daughter, absolutely loves the story of the 3 little pigs. It's one of her all-time favourites. And when we read it together, she joins in with all the appropriate sounds and noises. And her favourite pig is the pig who builds her house out of bricks. If you don't know the story, it's about the 3 little pigs who are sent by their mother to go build their own houses. The first pig doesn't want to spend too much time building, and so builds a quick house of straw. The second pig takes a little bit more time and builds a house out of sticks. Whilst the third pig spends much more time to build a house out of bricks, whilst her 2 siblings play and enjoy themselves. And eventually a big bad wolf comes along and manages to blow down all the houses, except the house made out of bricks. I mention the story grade 12 because this simple little story that allows me to share some life lessons and values with Izzy resonates very emotionally with me, and I'd like to share some of those values and ideas today. The first lesson is that hard work, persistent work, pays off. The extra effort of building a brick house meant the wolf could never get into that little pig's house. The second lesson from that fairy tale is that shortcuts are a false economy. They can cost you more than you initially think. Building houses out of straw and sticks was quick, but they didn't last. The third lesson is to plan strategically. The little pig that planned for a disaster even when there wasn't one on the horizon. And the fourth lesson is one of empathy and understanding. The pig with the brick house let her 2 siblings in to save them from the wolf, even though they hadn't put as much effort in their own homes, and by opening the door for them, she was endangering herself. But these are not new lessons, grade 12. You know these lessons because you've lived them. For the past 12 years of your life, you've been building your brick house. In the last 2 years, the academic expectations of you have increased significantly, and yet you continue to build. Brick by brick, you completed your IB diploma. First was more reading and classwork, and then it moved to data collection and research, into TOK presentations, and then into writing extended essays and theory of knowledge essays. Each step a little harder, a little more challenging than the previous, and yet you kept going, brick by brick. 4 months ago, the big bad wolf came knocking on your door. Knock, knock, knock. Let me in. The school's closed. You're going online. The world's in crisis. Oh, and we're going to cancel your exams. No wolf has blown harder at an IB cohort. Behind that door, hiding behind your bricks, I'm sure the sounds of that big bad wolf brought a little fear. But no matter how hard the knocking and the blowing, your house did not tumble. It did not fall. You may miss not having an IB exam, but you will walk away with an IB education and the attitude and the skills of pigs who build houses made out of bricks. You have learned to be persistent, that shortcuts are costly, that planning pays off, and that empathy and understanding underpins everything that we are. Izzy is 4, and she's at that stage where she's beginning to read. And last week I noticed her sitting down in her reading corner, trying very hard to sound out the words in the book she was holding. Sitting and concentrating is not a very 4-year-old skill, so I was very impressed and proud, and so I said to her, "Well done, Izzy, for concentrating so long. You're like the little piggy who built her house out of bricks." And her face lit up with pride, and with a huge satisfied smile on her face, she went back to trying to sound out the words in her book. And I sat there beaming like the proud parent that I was. And it's the way I feel about all of you today. A very proud parent, a proud teacher. Well done, grade 12. You have academic houses made out of bricks that have withstood the biggest test ever given to an IB graduating class. You go on to the next stage of your life with a deep understanding of what the foundations of academic and life success look like. You are persistent, you understand the risks in shortcuts, you know how to plan, and perhaps above all, you have empathy and understanding for those less fortunate than ourselves. Be proud of the houses you have built, the skills you have learned, and the values you've displayed. Don't stop building those brick houses. In closing, I would like to say, I wish you all a life that leads you to true fulfillment. I urge you to be risk takers in life, to be unafraid to learn, to care for others. I urge you to take the values of our little EIS village out into the world and use them to build a life for yourself and also for others. You are now adults of our village. Do us proud. Thank you.
The grade 11 class, the class of 2021, would love to be with us here today, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, they cannot. However, they have recorded a song for their friends in grade 12. Here is grade 11 performing Memories by Maroon 5.
Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. alright. Go and raise your glass and say, hey, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. As the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you.
Over an intensive 2-year period, all students have shown a commitment and dedication to academic achievement. But as we know, academics aren't the only things that make an IB-DP student successful. The following awards are to celebrate the holism which is integral to the IB curriculum and the characteristics of an IB student that are embodied in the IB Learner Profile. Mr. Mark, could you please join me again on stage to present the Learner Profile Awards? For those students who have exemplified caring as an IB Learner Profile, Volbik Nottenwin. Charlotte. For those students who have been principalled, Tao Lan Chi Huang. Vanessa Valaguero. For students who've demonstrated balance in their academia, social lives and all aspects of school, Nok V Kim. Trantam Unwin. For a student who demonstrates knowledge, Chen Huan Ku. The ultimate in inquiry, Si Hyung Lee. Students who demonstrate reflection, Kung Tu An Boy. Jury Moon. For communication, Huang Yat Min Dong. the risk taker in the group, Tao Yongva. The thinkers, Man Yun Shen. And Si Yeon Kim. And finally, our open-minded students, Hei Jin Jan. Hu Nam Yong Quinn. And Viet Wang Tran.
The grade 12 students over the past few weeks have been reflecting on their time at EIS, the friends that they have made and the memories that they will take with them. Here are some of their personal reflections.
Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only.
Shake it, shake it, shake it like you want my birthday. Ayy. I'ma shake it, shake it, shake it like you want my birthday. Oops, you're not invited. Yeah, you're not invited. Oops, you're not invited. 오늘은 내 맘대로 할래. Every day
Sometimes I believe, at times I wish you know I can fly high, I can go low. Today I got a million, tomorrow I don't know. Decisions as I go, to anywhere I flow. Sometimes I believe, at times I wish you know I can fly high, I can go low. Today I got a million, tomorrow I don't know.
Thank you for those entertaining and moving reflections. Let me know if you need some tissues. They encompass what it is to be an IB learner and a student at EIS.
We would now like to invite one of our graduating students, Bert Wang Trang, or Sam, to perform a piece he has written and composed for his classmates. One last dance.
Hold on with me by your side. Persevere until this marathon is all over. Finish line, no one left behind. We are alive. Through the depths of hell, fly over the infinite sky, down the ocean monument Atlantis. Justice, let the heavens fall, but we stand tall. Memory lane full of broken chairs and smelly beanbags. Couldn't get enough of them forever. Dream high, work hard, just be yourself. It's okay to back down sometimes on the battleground of life. Say what you want, live with it. Say what you know is right. Just one last dance. Architecture, engineer, scientist, researcher, woodworker, CEO, teacher at another urban planner, and medicine business analyst, hotel manager, field road actor, historian, a billionaire. Do not say that fate decides it all. We create our own destiny. Halcyon on glory, famed and all starts with baby footsteps. Whistleblowers sat in the back, mirror reflecting the past. Broken bonds and not a tie gone, just trying to survive the day. I do not know honestly, this is reality. They don't teach you in school, you're on your own. Sometimes we're wrong, so fill the pages yourself full with your blood, sweat, and tears, and not a chance to make our stand above all. Just one last dance.
Most of you probably don't know, but yesterday Sam couldn't even come into school for a rehearsal. And so we're very proud of the fact that he's able to stand up here and perform in front of his class today. And it was such a moving and personal piece that I'm sure that his class really, really appreciate that. We would now like to welcome Mr. Sean O'Meany, the head of school, to say a few words to the class of 2020.
Parents, teachers, students, and most importantly, the class of 2020. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. You can all see the screen at the back? Okay. So, usually, as Mr. Mark already said, there is a message, normally at the end of graduation speech. But this morning, I would like to start with that message. And that is that you are each unique. And how you live your life and contribute to the world around you in your lifetime is your challenge in a rapidly changing, uncertain world. Today, you graduate ready for the 21st century. You will live your adult life in the 21st century. However, this morning, I would like to bring you back to the 20th century and ask you to think. Could we have the screen at the back? Thank you. Okay. This photo is not of any of you. Okay? But little did this 2-year-old know how he was going to influence your life. This is, in fact, Arthur C. Clarke. You all know Arthur C. Clarke? Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Arthur C. Clarke and ask you to think. He was born in England in 1917. He was the eldest in a family of 4 children who grew up on a small farm. Their father died when Arthur was 13. He went to local school, but was unable to go to university. But he was interested in science and experimented with discarded telephone and telegraph equipment and built his own telescope. In 1936, at the age of 19, he moved to London, where he began to work for the British Interplanetary Society, which was established to support and promote the building of rockets and space exploration. You still with me? Okay. Importantly, he began to work in the field of what we now call aerospace. He also began to write science, and especially science fiction. And in 1945, he published the technical paper that was called Extraterrestrial Relays, which was laying down the principles of satellite communication with satellites in geostationary orbits. You know what satellites are? Because you were a child of the 21st century. In 1948, at the age of 31, he finally graduated and obtained first-class honours in physics and mathematics at King's College, London. He went on to live until he was 90 years of age and was a notable science writer, science fiction writer, futurist, inventor, undersea explorer, and television host. This is him as Chancellor of the University of Moratuwa in Sri Lanka. If you don't know very much about him, you may want to look at his biography. Why do I say this? It's because you are all now graduating. Your life, adult life, is ahead of you. So what did Arthur C. Clarke do for you? He said, "I don't pretend to have all the answers, but the questions are certainly worth thinking about." So let's consider the following. We need, okay. Anybody know what this is? It's a satellite. This is actually Voyager 1. Voyager 1 has been in space for 42 years, 8 months, and 4 days. It still communicates with deep space. And it is the most distant man-made object from this Earth. Now think, who invented it? What were their thoughts? And what were their hopes of the people who built it? We live on planet Earth. But Arthur C. Clarke once remarked, as I'm sure you can also now, why do we call it Earth? When in fact we know that most of where we live is made of water and is in fact ocean. You are here. Yes. Squint. This is called the pale blue dot. It's a picture of planet Earth that was acquired by Voyager 1 in 1990. Exactly 30 years ago. It is actually a distance of 6 billion kilometers away. It shows Earth as a single bright blue pixel in the vastness of space. And that pixel is caught in the sun rays. A little bit like you today. A little gray dot caught in the lights. The next image is actually the most important. It's called Earth Sunrise. And the photograph is now half a century old. It was taken by Bill Anders, who was an astronaut, in 1968. Earth came up over the horizon of his spacecraft. He scrambled for his camera because he did not have it in his hand. It was not planned. It was a very lucky photograph. In the pre-digital age, it took 5 days past. Eventually, it was published in Time magazine, and the poet laureate wrote, "And behold, the blue planet steeped in its dreams." You all have dreams. Some of you have small dreams. Some of you have big dreams, but you all have dreams. Think for yourself. Who processed the image of the blue planet? What did the poet think when he called our Earth the blue planet? The next image is very important to you. This image is actually the spacecraft which and I've lost my space. Excuse me one moment. This is called GEOS 16. It is an environmental satellite. Without it, your weather forecast would be very different. Think for yourself. How do we know our weather forecast? How important is that to your life? This image is probably the most important image for you. Does anybody know what this is? Does anybody know what that is? No? This is TerraStar. Does anybody know what TerraStar is? It is one of the most important satellites in space. Without it, your mobile phone would be a conglomerate of rare earth metals. So think for yourself how life would be different for you. You students, the class of 2020, commencing the third decade of the 21st century, have experienced the value of an inquiry-based approach to education in a tolerant environment. You have studied through the International Baccalaureate and encountered your own academic, personal, and social challenges. You have had the opportunities to learn and question your own values, to gain a somewhat international perspective, and most importantly, define what you hold to be truth in our ever-changing world. An international education includes a focus on global issues and assumes the equal validity of peoples and cultures. The definition encourages tolerance and understanding of ideas as a prerequisite for a peaceful world. So I ask you this morning, think for yourself, question, and be yourself. As an educated individual, you know that a young person's self-awareness starts from an understanding of his or her own values and drives. You have those values, you have those drives. And each of you is entering the phase of becoming in your life, just as Arthur did in 1917. And see what he achieved. He influenced the thinking of his generation and that of the 20th century. In addition to satellites, he predicted global communications, what we now call internet, email, FaceTime, space travel, artificial intelligence, which is becoming far more important to your life than as it was in the 20th century. And the tools of today that you are so familiar with, the mobile phone, the iPad, and the computer. I commend you to watch Space Odyssey 2001, if you've not seen that movie, which Arthur C. Clarke co-wrote. Class of 2020, my hope for you on this important day is that you come to know your truth, your capacity to learn, and that from that truth, you may not only realize your true self, but also share with others what you know. I wish you a great life. Thank you, and good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Sean, for those inspirational words.
It is a tradition for the past years for the grade 11 students to give the grade 12s a leaving gift as a reminder of their time at EIS. This year, Cindy and Ratika, the leaders of the Student Representative Council, will present their class in distributing their gifts. Cindy and Ratika.
Sorry, technical glitch, we're just looking for them. Okay, in their absence, I'll give the gifts for them. The gifts for most of the students are under their chairs, so we're just handing out a couple of celebratory gifts. Rathika had prepared to say, on behalf of Grade 11, we would like to give a small gift to each of you as a way to remember your time at EIS. We wish you all the very best, and congratulations.
So thank you to the class of 2021 for those thoughtful gifts.
We have another performance in a moment, but whilst the band is setting up, we will see more reflections from the Grade 12 class.
Everybody go slowly there, John G.
Inquirer, knowledgeable, thinker, communicator, principle, open-minded, caring, risk-taker, balanced, reflective.
Hi everyone. So this 30-second video is to show my appreciation towards my previous 3 years of taking EIB. I would like to thank to everyone, especially my teachers, my friends, and for supporting me and guide me through the year successfully. And thanks to the IB for teaching me how to be more open-minded, caring, risk-taker, balanced, reflective, and a better learner, knowledgeable, thinker, communicator, and principal. Thank you.
Okay, final take. I would like to say thank you to all my teachers, my classmates, and the supporting staff at EIS for helping me throughout this past 5 years. To all my classmates, I am very happy to have shared the same path as you guys up until now. And although this road may diverge from now on, I hope that we will always be looking back with fond memories. To all of my teachers, sorry, just like as an umbrella thing first, and I hope that after we graduate, we have left some stories or memories behind so you can speak of us from now on to future generations. Once again, thank you everyone, and congratulations class of 2020, we made it!
Well, most of you have already known about my weird obsession with the Nordic countries. Did you know that in Norwegian, one of the ways of saying thank you is to use the phrase tusen takk, which literally means 1,000 thanks. And I think that is the word I would use to describe my time studying at EIS. Although it has only been 2 years for me here, I'm very grateful for having moved here and having met such a supportive class. This is a place where I've been able to live as myself, be it with my gender identity, my sexuality, or my personality.
So, from the bottom of my heart, tusen tack.
Thank you everyone who cares deeply about me. Without any of you, I would not be who I am today. I want to thank Dr. Lam and my mom for giving me a chance to go to EIS. It was an absolute life-changing decision. EIS taught me academic subjects and also taught me how to love and care for other people. EIS is my second home. All the memories will stay with me for the rest of my life. Thank you for everything.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus
pandemic has claimed now more than 100,000 lives.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
COVID-19 has disrupted the school year for students of all ages and grades across the country.
Buildings will remain closed.
Elementary schools
remain closed.
For the 2019-2020 school year.
Standardized tests have been canceled. Grading systems have changed.
Over a number of years, a group of our graduating students have performed together at a number of school events. Today, they'll be making for you their final performance and performing Flashlight by Jessie J. Please welcome the Grade 12 band.
Tomorrow comes, I'll be on my own, feeling frightened of things that I don't know. When tomorrow comes, tomorrow comes, tomorrow comes.
And though the road is long, I look up to the sky, and in the dark I found lost hope that I won't fly. And I sing along, I sing along, and I sing along.
I got all I need when I got you and I look around me, see a sweet light, stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. Getting me through the night.
Kickstart my heart when you shine in my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet life. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. 'Cause you're my flashlight. You're my flashlight.
Flashlight, flashlight. I feel the shadow flung beneath the mountaintop. I'm not afraid when the rain won't stop. 'Cause you light the way, you light the way, you light the way. I got all I need when I got you and I look around me, see a sweet life. Stuck in the
of my heart when you shine in my eyes. In life, it's a sweet life. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight.
You're getting me through the night. Light, you're my flashlight. Light.
You're my flashlight, light.
Oh, you're my flash. Oh, I got all I need when I got you and I look around me, see a sweet light. I'm stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. Can't stop my heart when you shine in my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet light. I'm stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. You're my flashlight. This is my flashlight.
You're my flashlight.
I got all I need when I got you and I look around me, see a sweet light. I'm stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. Can't stop my heart when you shine in my eyes. Can't lie, it's the sweet light. I'm stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. You're my flashlight, light.
You're my flashlight, light.
You're my flashlight, light. You're my flashlight. The performance is definitely something to remember. In a year full of things to remember, when this academic started on Monday, August 12th, you were finalising your draft of your extended essay, structuring your time around the completion of numerous internal assessments and beginning the process of applying to universities. No one was anticipating a year quite so unique. But as we well know, nothing ever goes as planned, and instead of spending your final semester of secondary school finalising those internal assessments, revising for your exams, writing applications for universities, balance academia and social lives, and beginning the process of spreading your wings to move beyond school to experiences far and near, to university, gap years and career opportunities. This year, you, the graduating class, have also had to navigate through an extended school closure, the cancellation of your summative exams, and the protracted time separated from your classmates and teachers, communicating only through the wonders of the internet. I applaud you, because throughout you have maintained your sense of humour, coloured of course by circumstances. You undertook the completion of a series of mock exams in March, sitting in your bedrooms or at your dining tables, instead of in an exam room. You rejoiced at the news that the school would open and then consoled each other and me each time the announcement came that we would not be reopening. Your official final day of class was April 30th, and yet you have all been here regularly throughout May, supporting each other, working with the art classes and other younger classes, and enjoying your final school year as best you can. The last few months of the class of 2020 schooling experience will long live in all of our memories. But as the student reflections today have shown, school is far more than a few months in grade 12, and you have taken so much with you beyond these last few months. As Margaret Atwood said, when nothing is sure, everything is possible. This year for the class of 2020, nothing has been sure, but before them are endless possibilities. With your optimism, spirit, determination, resourcefulness, and humour, you have only to embrace the unknown and look forward to the possibilities. But now we have arrived at the most anticipated moment of the day, the awarding of the diplomas to the class of 2020. Mr. Sean, if you could please join us again on stage. At EIS, there are three categories of diplomas, ranging from high school diploma to diploma with honours, and the most prestigious of all, diploma with distinction, that 6 of our graduates have been awarded. I would like to now call up the following students to receive their diplomas. Kung Tu An Boy, diploma with honours.
Thank you.
「
Huang Yat Min Do, Diploma with Distinction. Tao Lan Chi Huang, Diploma with Distinction. Hei Jin Jiang, Diploma with Honours. Not V Kim, Diploma with Honours. Shi Hyung Lee, Diploma with Distinction. Chen Wan Ku, Diploma with Distinction. Charlotte, Diploma with Honours. Si Yong Kim, Diploma with Honours. Jury Moon, Diploma with Distinction. Hu Nam Yong Win, Diploma with Honours. Tran Tam An Quinn, Diploma with Honours. Bo Bik Nop Nguyen, Diploma with Honours. Man Yun Shen, Diploma with Honours. Viet Quang Tran, Diploma with Honours. Vanessa Valaguerro, Diploma with Honours. Tao Yun Vo, Diploma with Distinction. Class of 2020, congratulations. Now please all stand. And move your tassels from left to right.
Class of 2020, it gives me great pleasure to graduate you from the European International School, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Congratulations.
The following student has contributed to many areas of school life during his many years as a student of the European International School. He excelled academically and gave the highest predicted score, making him the European International School's Class of 2020 valedictorian. This is the most prestigious award a student could attain and a great honour for Shi Hyung Lee.
Good morning. My name is Shi Hyung Lee, a student from grade 12. I'm honored to stand here on behalf of my graduating class of 2020. Before I get started with my speech, I would like to say congratulations to my fellow classmates for finally graduating from school. After 12 years of education, I have this bittersweet feeling of knowing all our blood, sweat, and tears was for a sheet of paper. First and foremost, I would like to thank my teachers for the lessons they have taught. I will miss jokes from Mr. Mark, hot chocolates from Mr. AJ, and the food I smuggled from Miss Maya's room. And all the memories I have. To all the teachers who have taught us until this day, thank you for all the lessons and memories you have provided. I also thank all the staff for helping me in organizing and cleaning up of the messes from my laboratory experiments and for organizing school events. Finally, I would like to thank my parents for enduring me for past 18 years. I know it must have been difficult knowing my temper. I also would like to thank the parents and families of all my class for the role that they have had in raising us to a stage of life, our graduation from high school. My experience in DP has influenced me in many ways. And now I would like to share my biggest learning from the course, that not many people truly care about me. Through my DP years, many teachers have told me to behave as I thought I should be a role model for younger kids. But do younger kids actually care about what I do? When I was young, I did not care about what my seniors were doing. I'm certain even my siblings were not aware of what I was doing. So, are the younger kids actually watching what I do? I do not mean the complete absence of attention from kids. I mean, they will never pay attention to every single action done by me. For those who know me, I more than try dumb things. I once tried to jump over a fence and I failed. I once tried to jump over the bush around Villa 4 and I failed. There was no reason for doing those things. I just wanted to do it. I ended up with several bruises, but does anyone here know that I ever attempted those? No matter what I am doing after a few months, only a few friends and I remember what happened. My friends and I once skipped online classes and went to watch Sonic. Teachers were not happy with us skipping classes. My friends and I once were locked in a room we called the cabinet for not submitting our physics IE on time. We had to hide from Miss Evan for a few days because we still had not finished the work. Those things are definitely not role model material. But is there a point in stopping myself from doing what I want to do when the public does not care about me? Although I thought I was in trouble back then, it was fun being in such a situation. I'm not suggesting anyone to submit work late or skip classes. My intention is to inform that the consequences of failing or attempting anything might not be as devastating. To all future students who are either here or watching the live stream, do not be afraid to experience the failures and rejections. Inquirers and risk takers, there are many ways in which it can be done. I believe they all mean the same. Try something new, something unique, something fun. Fill your day with dopamine and adrenaline. Do not stop yourself from doing anything because you're afraid of what others might think about you. After all, no one remembers everything I did, and you are no exception. And with these words, I would like to once again say congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. And now rise. Now rise.
So talked on